on decorum. They're more risk averse, as you said. So how is someone like you, a really rising influencer, I think, in the Democratic Party with the younger Democratic base, how are you feeling about Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, and the tack that they've decided to take in the Trump administration now?
Well, I think what we need to do is figure out how to really optimize in this media environment. And that's something that we haven't been able to do before. I actually went to D.C. this past week, and I spoke to a lot of members of the Democratic caucus in the House and the Senate. And it was my effort really to try and convince them and persuade them about the importance of kind of embracing social media, recognizing the importance of getting content creators in, moving a lot of our attention and focus from legacy media, where we've spent so much of our time talking to an audience that is already largely bought in, instead talking to an audience that is, not only bigger, because that's where social media audiences are, but also more persuadable. And look, to their credit, they were largely on board with all this stuff. And so I think it's important.
Do you notice how he dodged that question? He was asked to question his opinion about basically the Democratic Party leadership. And instead of attacking that question in any way whatsoever, he just says, well, what I think we need to do is blah, 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 blah. Why? Because he is the thing that he critiques, just like most of these guys in independent media who love to talk about mainstream media is so bad, and mainstream media is this, and the corporate news, and the corporate this, and the mainstream media. Oh, and I'm independent media, and independent media is so wonderful, right? But meanwhile, all they're trying to do is get in on the action. These guys are literally replacing mainstream media, right? They see what mainstream media is doing, and they're like, I could do that, right? Look how many millions these guys are making. I could make millions too, right? I'll just do what they're doing, but to a more extreme degree, right? And then I'll critique them and say how they're soft and they don't really want to call it how it is, and they're both sides, whatever, right? So mainstream media is partisan, right? But then Brian Tyler Cohen is even more partisan, right? Compared to Brian Tyler Cohen, CNN and MSNBC are objective news stations, right? MSNBC made Joe Biden feel very awkward talking about Tara Reid. You would never get that on Brian Tyler Cohen's channel. No way in hell is he ever going to make Joe Biden feel awkward, right? But MSNBC did that. CNN made Nancy Pelosi upset, right? They were asking her aggressive questions, and she got all bent out of shape and was like, how dare you, right? Brian Tyler Cohen ain't doing that, right? So all the stuff that's bad about mainstream media, not all of it, but the main thing that's bad about mainstream media, which is it's for profit and it's about the views, right? And it's pandering to the audience, it's biased. All that stuff is worse with Brian Tyler Cohen. Here's Brian Tyler Cohen, an independent guy, supposedly, talking to an independent channel, I believe, and he don't even want to critique the leadership of the Democratic Party even lightly. Not even like you got to go in and say, Pelosi is a traitor. You got to say all that. He could just say, well, Hakeem, I disagree with his strategies. I believe he's trying to do the right thing, but I just don't agree with his tactics. I think they should fight more. That's all he got to say. But he ain't trying to say that. And isn't that the same problem we have with mainstream media? The bad guy, the villain, right? Even though they do sometimes go after the establishment, they do sometimes go after, unlike Brian Tyler Cohen, his only critique would be, they need to be more, aggressive, right? They need to be more partisan, right? That's his main critique. You got to say it like it is. Trump is a fascist and blah, 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 blah. That's his critique, right? He's not going to go after Hakeem. And how could you go up there and talk about, well, we don't have any, what options do we have? What leverage do we? He's not going to call that out, right? His only issue is going to be mainstream media needs to be more partisan, more aggressive. call Trump Hitler, call him a fascist. So in a rare moment, I'm in agreement with a lot of the people in the comment section. So the people on Breaking Points, and this is not just people who don't like Brian Tyler Cohen. It's not just Brian Tyler Cohen hating. Some of these guys don't even know who Brian Tyler Cohen is. But they're like, yo, man, this guy looks shady. This guy's one of the biggest cheerleaders. 343 likes. The fact he can't even critique establishment, so they saw that too. 156 likes. So they saw that too. They caught on to that too. They paying attention. These same people might not be paying attention with some other stuff. It might be some partisan stuff. These might be some right-leaning people that they're not really mad because of what he's doing, right? Possibly, if he was doing what he's doing, exactly what he's doing it, but he's like a Ben Shapiro type guy, this guy like, yeah, he's good. I like it. He's honest. I think he's honest with what he's saying. Right? He's not like, Steven Crowder. He's respectable. He makes good points. So more than likely, they have an issue with him because they probably don't agree with his politics. But regardless, they do see what I see. Do you see what I see? Brian Tyler Cohen is an Access journalist. He's all about the views, man. You know what these guys are doing? Brian Tyler Cohen and others like him, they're trying to get in on the gravy train. His channel is exploding. He got so many subscribers. He's getting recognition from the establishment. Top Democrats. He's interviewed former presidents. He's a rising star. Right? And he's loving every minute of it. He's not really paying attention to how we got in this situation in the first place. He's not really paying attention to the serious problems of the Democratic Party, except for certain things on the edges, right? Democrats know how to govern and they care about the country, unlike those evil Republicans and they... Right? This dude is horrible, says Jeremy. It's insane to see this dude talking about them failures. He's part of the problem. Yes, Ocean Master. Forgive my ignorance because I don't know. See, this guy didn't even know who he is, but he gets it. This kid gives tongue bath interviews. Yes. This guy book tour with Jen Psaki. Yes. Why are we treating this guy like he knows anything? Well, let me see. He's got maybe 3 times the amount of subscribers as Breaking Points. So, having him on is a great opportunity for Breaking Points to expand their audience. It would almost seem like American media does what American media does, right? Focus on views and growth and business and profit. How can we get more views and engagement? How can we grow our channel? Less so on the journalism side of things. Even though I've been a person who has definitely given Breaking Points a lot of props. Deserved props. They've done some pretty good work compared to what else is out there. But I don't know if lately they just getting guttered now, or I wasn't seeing it before, but a lot of stuff we've seen on Breaking Points lately is like, I don't know, man. Brian, the Dems have failed us. Me, you're part of the problem. They get it. Brian, 100% part of the problem. They get it. This guy's one of the worst talking heads on the Dem. This guy is part of the problem. Yes. Yes, Queen. They get it, man. Look at how many people saying the exact same thing. As someone that never trusted Brian, liar, Cohen, these comments are warming my jaded heart. So this person sees what I'm seeing right now, which is that other people, they get it. He came dressed like Fetterman. True. So he's a big shot now. So he's getting interviewed by tiny Breaking Points. So he does a Elon Musk and comes out with the hoodie. Okay. I see you, man. This guy is part of the reason Democrats lost. Sagar asks, what would you like to see the Dems get power? And Brian gets really shaky. Oh, man. Breaking Points has really been blowing it lately. Asking this guy for his opinion when he was part of the problem. Exactly. Let's break that down for a second. Breaking Points, a core part of their brand, is calling out mainstream media. That is their gimmick. It's bullshit. But regardless, that's their thing. Right? Mainstream media is so bad, and corporate news, and this is not very good, and rich and mad now. Oh my goodness. Right? But a guy who's got 3 times the subscribers that they do, who is basically mainstream media times 10. All the stuff that they say is bad about mainstream media, that's Brian Tyler Cohen. That's Brian Tyler Cohen. All the stuff they got, mainstream media, corporate news, right? So this is proof of what I've been saying for a long time. This whole mainstream media boogeyman is a gimmick. It's a gimmick. If it wasn't a gimmick, Brian Tyler Cohen would be getting roasted on Breaking Points, especially from Cigar. Especially from Cigar. Cigar would be like, but Brian, how come it is that you always talk about mainstream media and I don't see you It seems like you're afraid to critique them. What's that about? And make him squirm and be like, well, no, that's not true. I critique them all the time. And This is the kind of stuff that Breaking Points is capable of. If Brian Tyler Cohen was Rachel Maddow, they would have gone in, right? But somebody, perhaps worse than Rachel Maddow, is on their show, and all of a sudden, I'll tell me what you think about it. Oh, okay, it's a good idea. Oh, yes, your channel is doing amazing, and yeah, unlike the mainstream media, and they're so bad, the mainstream media, and the corporate news, and the mainstream media, and that's the thing, independent media, yes, independent media is wonderful, independent media never tells a lie, independent media is so powerful and so great, and unlike that corporate news, oh my goodness, tune in, oh my god, by the way, did you guys see the latest stats for CNN? Their viewership dropped by 10%. Ooh. Anyway, this is the Baby channel. Debate me in the comment section below. Click on the like button, subscribe, smash that bell. Be well. So I love it that across the board the audience gets it. But again, unfortunately, the reason that they get it is probably because there's a lot of right-wingers watching Breaking Points, and these are probably right-wingers who, they don't have a problem with Brian Tyler Cohen at all whatsoever with what he's doing, right? The problem that they have is the fact that he's doing it for the other team. Oh, man. I'm telling you, American politics is just so trash, bro. It is so trash, man. Wow. Woo!